Hey YouTube, RicoKnows here. Going to talk to you guys about my hidden gem on Michigan. If you didn't know, I'm identifying one hidden gem on every single team in America. If you want to learn all the other hidden gems, go to the homepage on YouTube, click on playlist, find the hidden gems playlist. This video is going to be on it, okay? So you'll see the whole playlist. You can learn about all these other players nobody knows about. But when it comes to a team like Michigan, it's really hard to point out a hidden gem, mainly because everybody knows the roster. Everyone knows every player, especially the homers, especially all those fans. Everybody's so informed. And I'm not really teaching you anything about the roster. So right now what I want to do is I want to talk about a young man that non-Michigan fans probably don't know. And his name is Amorion Walker. And it says here he's a defensive back. Okay, he just moved to defensive back last year. It didn't work out. He didn't get on the field much, didn't play much. He is 6'3". So it sounds like you would love for this young man to become a corner. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. We want this young man to develop into a corner. He's got the length you're looking for to be an impact player. Only problem, he wasn't good enough to get on the field. Now, there's no shame in that. They just won a national title. Some of the best players in America were on that field. Got to find somebody to start opposite of Will Johnson. Apparently, Walker wasn't the guy. So the season ends. You just won a national title. And Amorion Walker hits the transfer portal. Now, if you ask me personally, I don't like it. I don't like any player hitting the transfer portal when your team just won the national championship. When you have a chance to work every single day with one of the very best defensive backs in America and learn his craft and become a professional. It's like some of these kids don't understand what they are inheriting or what they're experiencing. They're just selfish. They just want to get on the field. And you can't fault them. I'm going to go out on record and tell you guys, Amorion Walker probably doesn't even belong at Michigan. This is a 3-star kid. Didn't play his junior year. He missed like 6 out of 9 games due to injury. Senior year played well. He's playing in Louisiana. I get it. I watched the tape. Okay, he looks explosive. He looks fine. Nothing on the tape made me go, man, that guy belongs at the national championship Wolverines. Like nothing. And so far, nothing he's done has got him on the field, yet he refuses to redshirt. Well, look at this. We're on our junior year now. Still not on the field. These kids don't understand that they actually have to redshirt and develop physically. You need to fill in. You need to learn. And a year of development wouldn't hurt you. It would actually help you immensely if you have aspirations to be an NFL player. But this kid can't get on the field. So he hits the transfer portal. Where does he go? He goes to Ole Miss. And he's at Ole Miss for the winter. Misses, he does spring football at Ole Miss. And then he jumps back in the portal and decides to come back to Michigan. A couple things. Number one, did he make the 2 deep over there? I don't know. I have no earthly idea. I know he had a desire to move back to wide receiver. And the wide receiver room at Ole Miss is not to be played with. I've seen many great wide receivers not get on the field at Ole Miss. So why you're transferring to Ole Miss, I'll never know. If you're going over there to be a DB because they need defensive backs, well, you probably can't start at Ole Miss. If you can't start at Michigan, you can't start at Ole Miss. And I hate to tell these young men this because nobody's telling them the hard truth. And the hard truth is there isn't that big of a gap in talent. The talent is equivalent at these schools, if not better. If not better. You're trying to go start on an SEC defense, but you couldn't see the field at Michigan? Not happening, bro. Somebody lied to you. Somebody got you gassed. So now you come back to Michigan. Come back to Michigan, and you're slated to be a wide receiver, getting what you want. As a young man, you say you want to play wide receiver. You're going to make an impact as wide receiver. I think he's quoted as saying he wants to be the next T. Higgins. When you say you emulate an NFL player and then you go out and name like a role wide receiver, you don't name the best one. Like your goal is to be that 3rd, 4th wide receiver on a team, 2nd wide receiver. Like whatever, dude. I don't feel that way. So this is my hidden gem simply because we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know if he can get in the starting lineup. Like I know everybody else, right? I could talk about everybody else. I could go down the list. I was going to do Miles Hinton, the Stanford transfer from last year. I was going to do Hinton. Comes from an amazing lineage. But if I'm going to give you a hidden gem that potentially could have a breakout season, he's going to need one, is Walker here at wide receiver. Shout out to Charleston. He's a backup plan. But Walker at wide receiver. I don't know why these kids aren't realistic. I have no earthly idea why they're not realistic about their football careers. This man's about to go his whole career and never see the field. Slated to be the 4th wide receiver. You got 1 year of eligibility left after this one, buddy. Probably should have redshirted, developed, and became a leader of men. That's the real love. That's the tough love they don't want to hear. And you guys wonder why I stopped making videos on TikTok. It's because this needs to be said on YouTube for the world to see. He's a hidden gem. Dude should be in your 2 deep starting if you prepare accordingly, if you're committed to your craft. Shout out to Michael Barrett. That was a man committed to his craft. I'm not moved by this. But hey, shout out to him. Welcome back to the school. Says he's back at Michigan, and it feels like putting on an old pair of shoes. Okay. You ever played basketball in an old pair of shoes? You ever got on the court and you just started slipping and sliding everywhere? And then you decided to go get a new pair of shoes, and they didn't work out as well. They crunched your feet, squashed your toes, everything hurt. So you said, yo, I'm going to go back and put on my old pair of shoes. They feel better. You're still slipping and sliding everywhere. You're still in the same scenario. You're still not on the field. I hope he's utilized this year for the sake of this young man's career. But he's about to go his whole college football career. You're on the bench at one of the best teams in America. That's the harsh reality of the situation. And I see it. I'm doing this for every single team in America. I see it on multiple rosters, especially at the Power 4 level. These young men cannot fathom that they go group of 5. They cannot fathom that they transfer to a team that actually needs them. They would never do that. They have too much pride. They're embarrassed. The peer pressure. They're the kids embarrassed to drive a terrible-looking car because somebody might see them. The group of 5 is an ugly girlfriend, and they don't want you to know they're dating her. Well, okay. Well, keep doing this shit. This is terrible, man. Your whole college career, you're never going to see the field. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.